whole purpose of a great rock concert is to get past that. That's the purpose of a good rock concert, is to, so everybody equalizes, everybody forgets themselves, everybody forgets their egos and their problems. They go out and they have a great time, they go crazy, and if it's a good show, I forget who I am as well. I just feel like one of the crowd.
What about the thing that The Who did, of course? I mean, they changed rock music in more ways than one. I mean, they changed it from one point of view, which is what happened on stage, where you had all the destruction, where Keith used to kick the drums over, he used to bash the guitar to pieces, the sound equipment used to be wrecked. Why was that?
It was musical frustration. It was, I don't know, you know, occasionally it happens now. I'll be halfway through a solo and I'll be playing really well and sail off a bit, and then suddenly the fingers will not do what I want them to do, and it makes me angry. And I think because rock stars are encouraged to behave as badly and to be as obnoxious as possible, let me put it another way. I can play what I think is a wonderful guitar solo, and I actually feel very proud of it, and you get this sort of slow hand clap at the end. But if I take the guitar and smash it on the ground, it brings the house down. So it began as... It began as...
If you smash it anymore, mate, you'll be put to bloody bed.
Just a wee bit of parental advice there.
And you won't get no tea.
You won't get no tea. Eat your tea.
And we'll keep putting it in front of you until you eat it.
Yeah. But, I mean, does that represent your dad's point of view about the outrage you create on stage? I mean, have you had discussions with him about it? About the image and all that sort of thing?
Well, if you look closely at his saxophone, you'll see that it's very badly bent.
You know, I was just in Berlin doing a film where they had a lot of punk rock concerts, and I went to them. Now I realize that I know who you are, The Who. I've got it all straight. You are not that man a long time ago they wouldn't let Peter, they wouldn't let Margaret marry. But she knows another musician now. I better get off this subject.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. You're in Berlin and punk.
Yes. Yeah. Now wait, and Berlin, and I saw the Plasmatics in New York. Saw a car and a half on the stage, and the kids. And I tried to talk to Blondie. I do know something about what. Now everything's falling into place. And I tried to find out why this destruction. And what year did you start your destruction about? Tell me, in the 60s? Late 60s? Yes. Well, whenever I could get them to talk to me, because I'm interested in doing a film about this, the punk rock world, directing and not being in it, there seems to be some kind of frustration that comes... Don't laugh.
Just the thought of you in a punk movie, that's all.
There's, you know, when you see them destroy the scenery, or they do very sexual things, like with scissors cutting scenery, and, I mean, girl punk rock stars. And it seems to me that what I got out of them is that they get, day by day in the newspapers, the atom bomb might fall, or the water's polluted, or this fight between communism and capitalism, control of the world. Love it. But they say they say they don't love it. They say that's why the destruction. That it's a way of saying a plague on both your houses.
I don't think the Plasmatics are a serious rock band. They're a tremendously theatrical band, and I think that the girl was a stripper, wasn't she? The girl that sings in the Plasmatics, she used to be a stripper.
What about Blondie?
Blondie, now that's a different thing. I mean, I would say that they are simply a pop band. Whether or not they would agree with me, I mean, if you put Debbie and Chris Stein, her boyfriend, on your show, you'll probably find that they're incredibly serious and intense about what they do. Probably as intense as I am, but I think the finest rock bands are people that have changed people's lives.
But then I was going to ask you that, because it seems to me that there's too much high-flown, highfalutin argument and theorizing put forward about popular music.
Oh, well, shut up then.
No. But I therefore want to ask you, I mean, how did you change anybody's life? In what way?
I can't show you the letters because I haven't brought them with me. I'm only repeating really what people have told me. Well, I think by applying a complete, total dedication to people.
But don't you think you release the audience's frustration and anger? They take part of your, they get involved in...
Yeah, but through what you write as well. The important thing for me, obviously, is apart from being the guitar player in the band, I write the songs, and I think that's important. It makes my position slightly different because I feel a direct communication with people, and I, in fact, do get indirect communication with people who write, sometimes very, very young kids, sometimes people not so young. It doesn't really matter. I mean, people that communicate and say, listen, I heard the album, such and such a song touched me very deeply. I was going through a particular thing, say with my dad, or my boyfriend left me, or I went through a drug problem, or I wasn't doing well at school, and this song helped me. So,
But that's true for almost everything, isn't it? That if somebody writes to you and says, because I heard this, I now know that I'm not the only